Hello and welcome to Mary Jane Markets, a news and analysis podcast aiming to keep investors up to date and well informed of the ongoings in the North American cannabis sector. My name is Mo Rahim and today is Thursday, July 15th. And on this third episode, we'll be continuing our discussion from yesterday on the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act, touching on some good news and bad news for Trulieve, and reviewing the policy update I spoke of yesterday in Illinois. Let's take a quick look at how the market did today. Most of the equities were down, similar to yesterday, followed by the ETFs. And I think this is the market again digesting the announcement of the CAOA from yesterday. It was impossible not to see news about this today. And like we talked about yesterday, I think this is just because of how early in the process this bill is. We've been waiting for something from Senator Schumer for a long time now, and I think everyone's hopes were higher. That's certainly the tone in many headlines today. I'm sure you saw some of those if you follow the cannabis news sites on Twitter. This got plenty of coverage today in interviews, recycled articles, and from safe banking advocates that don't agree with this tactic, that don't think a comprehensive bill will be easy to pass, that the Democrats don't have the votes for it, and calls to pass something more singular. In an NBC interview after the announcement, Senator Schumer was asked point blank if he had the votes to pass the bill, and he said, quote, "We're working on it." So speculators don't have a lot of confidence in that, but I think this is exactly why the bill was introduced in this way. This is a contentious topic. You have congressmen that feel strongly about it on both sides. They campaign on it. They win on it. There is a lot of money and special interests involved. There are a lot of interested parties that will want their language in order to get on board. There are a lot of disinterested parties that will need to be cajoled. I think the senators know that this is going to be an uphill battle, and they're saying, hey, we want to do this. This is the draft, and here are some of the things we want in it, but it is a draft. So work with us to polish it up and get this passed. Anyway, just some comments on the prevailing sentiment right now. I wouldn't listen to it too much. Stick to the facts if you're interested on the topic and continue focusing on how the players in the space are executing on their plans. Okay, next up is a trial in the courts down in Tallahassee, Florida. I don't even like bringing this up, but this has been a murky implication following Trulieve around for years now. The husband of the CEO of Trulieve is involved in a federal trial regarding corruption and his construction company. I won't go into the specifics here because I don't think they're relevant to investors, but Trulieve, the company, is not involved in the trial. However, it did come up today that the construction company did some work for Trulieve and were paid $36.7 million over a number of years in total for their construction projects. Trulieve said in a statement, JT Burnett, I should add here that that's the name of the husband of CEO Kim Rivers. Trulieve said, JT Burnett is a minority owner in the construction business. Trulieve has retained the services of Burnett Construction Company as well as other construction companies over time. These service providers are chosen because they are knowledgeable, experienced, and provide high-quality services at favorable terms. These business relationships are completely separate from the indictment case against JT Burnett. All transactions have been approved by independent board members, and the value is provided in our public disclosure documents. They are arm's length and below market in cost to Trulieve. So there you have it. I only bring it up to say that this is something that has been hanging over them for a while, and that the company itself is not involved in the trial. At worst, this is bad publicity. Switching over to some good publicity for Trulieve, it's been reported that the company was the first to start planting in West Virginia since the Medical Cannabis Act was passed in the state back in 2017. Since then, the state has been dragging its feet on the bureaucratic process, and now that the paperwork has come through, Trulieve can start growing plants in their 100,000 square feet facility and getting product into a potential 9 dispensaries they have in the state. West Virginia is a relatively small market. If we switch over to my potential US TAM spreadsheet, we can take a look at the numbers. For those of you who aren't familiar with this, I recommend going back and watching my first episode where I walk through this spreadsheet and how I think about the market landscape and potential revenue for each state. Anyway, West Virginia here is ranked 42nd among the states in terms of its GDP, and really the total addressable market I'm looking at is around $610 million. So we'll see how this plays out. No doubt there's going to be a long ramping up period, but if they're planting now, with some luck, they may be able to show some revenue from the state in Q4. Following up on our discussion from yesterday about the Illinois expected dispensary licenses, a little bit of a surprise here, with the final number being upped to 185 from an expected 175. HB 1443 introduces 3 lotteries, which are to be held in July and August. They're also awarding 213 grower, infuser, and transporter licenses. Those are not part of the lottery. Those awardees have been notified, and the grow and infuse applicants have 10 days to get their $40,000 in to confirm they actually want those, and then transporters have until the end of February 2022, which makes sense. So finally, some progress. Some of these stalls can be really frustrating for investors when we're dealing with growth companies being throttled by nothing but red tape. Be sure to keep you updated on that, as Illinois is the 5th largest market in the country. All right, that'll do it for today. It's a short one. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys like what you heard, the best thing to do right now is go ahead and like and subscribe. That helps YouTube recommend the show to other people. Please share this out with your friends on social media, on Reddit, anywhere where cannabis investors hang out. My goal here is to keep up with the news and developments, perform research, and provide it to you guys in a concise way, to the point that you guys don't have to keep up with the day-to-day noise. If you want to get in touch, the best way to do that is to contact me on Twitter at mjmarkets or email me at maryjanemarkets@gmail.com. I also have a Patreon page. I don't expect any contributions this early on, but if you decide that you are liking the podcast, feel free to check out that page at patreon.com/maryjanemarkets. I don't think YouTube or other platforms are going to monetize my podcast because of the topic. And that's it. Thank you.